Hello everyone, Nicholas Veinoglou here, and welcome to Sound Advice. Today I'm going to show you a cool way to incorporate arpeggios into your solos. Now, all an arpeggio is the notes coming from a specific chord. So for example, if I said, let's play a C major 7 arpeggio, I could say, okay, well here's my C major 7 chord, right? And all the arpeggio is the notes of that chord played in succession one after the other. And you can do this for any kind of chord. You can do it for a triad, for a 7th chord, and beyond. So let's take a look at a really simple chord progression. Let's do C major 7 to A minor 7, right? Or 1 to 6. Now normally if we're playing over a progression like this, right? C, A minor. Our first kind of go-to option would be the pentatonic scale, right? Either the C major pentatonic or the A minor pentatonic. Those are both the kind of classic guitar solo options. And those are great options. There's nothing wrong with those. The only thing is that they can get a little redundant after a while. So if you're soloing for 2 or 3 minutes, you might get to, 45 seconds into your solo and go, okay, I've played all my licks. What do I do now? I still have another whole minute to solo, right? And the other thing that the pentatonic box can limit you in is it's not giving you the direct sound of every chord per se, right? It's kind of glazing over the harmony using notes that work over all of the chords. So using an arpeggio 1 is going to give us a bit of a different spicy sound away from that pentatonic box. It's also going to outline every chord that we're playing over. So for example, again, if I say, okay, over C major 7, maybe I start with a pentatonic lick, and then I'll go into the arpeggio to outline the harmony. And then I can do the same thing over A minor. Maybe I'll play a minor pentatonic lick into the arpeggio. So you can see that you can kind of start getting a little bit further away from the sound of the pentatonics, and you can start unlocking some more creative sounds using arpeggios. Now, if you're getting bored with the arpeggios once you've kind of dove into that world, you can start adding some color to your arpeggios by approaching chord tones, meaning the notes in the arpeggio, from either a half step below or a half step above. So this is what I mean by that. If I have my C major 7 arpeggio, right, let's just use that top octave. I say, okay, here's my root, 3rd, 5th, 7th. These are my 4 chord tones. And I'm gonna approach each one from a half step below. So instead of, I'm gonna have, could do that same thing from above. A lot more tense, right? Or I could do a note enclosure, so surround the chord tone. You could go from below and then above and then hit the chord tone, or vice versa, above, below, and then the chord tone. Here's below, above. Now, this might sound a little jazzy or a little out to you, but if you mix it in with your normal pentatonic licks, it'll sound really sweet and it'll give you a bit of a variety in your solos. So I'll give you a little example of that. I'll start by playing some riffs and some common licks, and then I'll mix in some of these arpeggios. So here's what that'll sound like. So you can see that adding these arpeggios to your solos are just going to give you a little more color, allow you to decorate, add some tension and release, and also outline each chord. These work really well if you have a song that has a lot of chords in it and you have to nail those chord changes. Maybe it's changing keys on you, or there's one chord that doesn't quite belong in the key and we get to that chord and we go, what do we play over this chord? You can always fall back and use the arpeggio. You're gonna play all of the best sounding notes because you're using the notes that come from the harmony. So I challenge you to play over a song that you know really well, that you're really comfortable with, and try using arpeggios mixed in with your pentatonic box.